This morning, we are breaking down the latest labor force survey results with Hurricane Melissa affecting data collection. Statin joins us now to help us unpack the report. Joining us are Director General Leesha Delatie-Budair and Acting Deputy Director General Dr. Natalie Simpson. Mouthful there. Ladies, good morning. Thank you for being here. Leesha, let me start with you. When was your appointment made?
So effective September 2024.
So congrats, I haven't seen you since. Fantastic.
No. Thank you.
Good to hear it. Tell me a little bit about this, this tool and what it's used for generally.
So the Labor Force Survey is a quarterly survey that we do to understand what is happening in the labor market. It allows us to measure changes over time, and it is a survey that is done on householders. So what we're looking at is the supply side of the labor market to understand how householders or individuals are participating in the labor market.
The supply side of the labor market. All right.
So we produce the unemployment rate as well as a variety of other indicators on employment, quality of employment, those who are outside the labor force, what young people are doing, what different age cohorts are doing. There's a myriad of indicators that we produce with the labor force.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Wow. How do you conduct, who deals with it on the ground? Is that Doc or you? Can speak to how it's conducted?
I mean, either one of us could take it, but I mean, what we do is we have a cohort of data collectors that are permanently employed to Statin, and they execute the labor force survey every quarter. Okay.
And Doc, it's some 10,000 plus households, right? Over what period?
It is. So the sample is 10,464, and like DG said earlier, it's a quarterly survey. We do it January, April, July, and October, and data collection typically takes around 6 weeks.
Okay. So as far as I'm reading, year on year, is it year on year or quarter on
year?
Year on year. We haven't had much of a shift. Needle hasn't moved so much. DG, tell me what's going on with it. What do the findings show you for this?
So when we were looking at the findings for the October 2025 labor force compared to October 2024 last year, we're not seeing any significant shifts in the labor market. However, very importantly, because this is a question that has come up quite a bit, the reference week for the October labor force is the first full week of the month, which means this does not capture the impact of Hurricane Melissa, as we were looking at the point in time before the hurricane. So it's a consistent point in time that we measure each October.
Yes.
First week.
Yes. And so whatever happened post Melissa would be
reflected in subsequent
data. In Q1's data.
We expect to see whatever the impact is in this quarter. Yeah. However, we're not preempting the numbers. We're just measuring what is happening on the ground and reporting as.
Right. That's what the survey do, right? Let's talk about the baseline and where we are, Doc. What were your findings this year as far as the indicators, the KPIs go?
All right, so for the October 2025 labor force, we're seeing an unemployment rate of 3.5. Like you said earlier, we compared to October of 2024, and at that time it was, sorry, let me say that again. It was 3.3 compared to 3.5 for the previous year. So you are seeing a slight movement of 0.2. And what that means is, and when we look at the stats, it's not statistically significant. So we're looking at roughly the same or similar unemployment rate as the October of the previous year. We have a number of movements that took place. 6,300 persons left the labor force. 2,500 of those persons were in the category unemployed in the previous quarter of 2024, and 3,800 were in the category of employed. Those persons have now moved outside the labor force, so we're seeing an increase of 6,300 outside the labor force. We're also seeing some movements in occupation, but again, it's almost as if wherever you have increases, you also have decreases, and so it kind of balances where you're not seeing significant movements. But just to give you some quick numbers, we're looking at occupation. Clerical support workers declined by 6,000 persons. Crafts and related trades declined by 11,700. Managers increased by 16,400. And technicians and associate professionals increased by 9,400. Similarly, in industry groups, you're seeing also declines and increases. Real estate declined by 10,400. Accommodations and food services increased by 7,900. So you're seeing quite some movements inside the labor force, outside the labor force, and also within occupation and industry.
Very interesting. Outside labor force mean, the ones you found outside labor force mean they don't have a job, or they maybe independently employed?
So those who are outside the labor force are those persons who are not in employment, or they're not available and actively seeking for work. So
Gotcha.
thank you for that question, because
Yes,
it's
entrepreneurs, or
they're not engaged in the market.
At
An
all.
entrepreneur is somebody who is considered to be employed.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you're in productive activity for at least 1 hour for the reference week, then you're considered to be employed.
Okay,
And you're
that's important.
unemployed if you are available and actively seeking employment, then you're considered unemployed. But if you're not doing any of that, so you're not working and you're not looking for work and you're not available, then you're considered to be outside of the labor force.
1 hour per...
1 hour per week. That's the international standard.
1 hour per week?
1 hour per week. But you see, every time
Then
we
me
say...
overemployed then?
Every time we say 1 hour, persons immediately go to the lower end of the
I
market. But
know.
what about the higher
That's
end
the
of the
baseline,
market?
right,
It's
which
a
is,
baseline.
for people could be 100 hours
Exactly.
per week. And so what do we now do with this data, DG?
So this information is made available for all. So when we release our statistics, they're made publicly available for everybody on our website. And it informs policy, it informs decision making. It is there for persons to understand how they can, for example, students can look to see who is hiring young people, what industries, what
Yes,
occupations. This is data that is available for everyone to use, and we encourage persons to visit our website, statinja.gov.jm, look at the numbers, and if you have questions, you can always contact us. We are happy to discuss any number we put out.
Yeah. Doc, when is the next reference week for the next survey?
So it's the first full week of January. So that was the 4th to the 10th.
Oh, it's gone already. And that information
Yes.
will be published
In
March?
April.
At the end of March.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah, end
I
of
hear
March.
people saying, I heard all about these labor force surveys. I've never seen anybody come to my house. I've never so. How do you choose your sample?
So the thing with the labor force survey is that we're tracking a particular cohort of individuals over time. And there are 800,000 households in Jamaica, and our sample is 10,000. So the probability of you being selected is quite low. And we're tracking these same households over several years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but so the sample is therefore reliable and representative. Okay? For everybody asking. Thank you very much for shedding light on this. If people want more information or want to see the full survey, where can they go?
They can go to our website, statinja.gov.jm.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
DG, Leesha Delatie-Budair, and Acting Deputy Director General, Dr. Natalie Simpson, two ladies at the helm of employment. Of a scientific organization. We love to see that. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you much, Doc. We have more on Smile after this break. Soon come.